What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff guy. Aye! And we are back with another reaction. Oh my goodness. Today we will be reacting to a video from B.D.A. Law. And the reason why I wanted to react to this video is because, I know B.D.A. Law is a very big Shanks supporter, right? And I think I feel as though I haven't seen this video, but I think he's going to give some props to my dog Mihawk. So I wanted to react to it. I wanted to see B.D.A. Law give my man's Mihawk some props. He made 3 videos, so I didn't know which one to choose, so I chose this one. I don't know if this is going to be the best one for him giving props. But the title of this video is the Oda confirmed him top 1058 expose. So yeah, we gonna get into it. I don't want to waste too much time because I just want to hear what he got to say. Maybe it's not about. Maybe I should have chose one of the other videos. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I chose wrong. But we're gonna see what he talks about, right? We're gonna see what he talks about. Hey, I just want to hear him give Mihawk some props because he usually be trying to downplay Mihawk for Shanks. And I'm like, bro, y'all need to stop downplaying my man Mihawk like he's some bum or something. That's my problem with a lot of these YouTubers, these One Piece YouTubers. They be downplaying my man's Mihawk like he is some bum. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he couldn't be nowhere near Shanks. Like, go ahead somewhere. Anyway, y'all, but before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitch so you could catch me live. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and join the Discord if you are looking for a community to be a part of. All of these will be down in the description box below. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna tell y'all my sources, but niggas say, yo, just get off of social media. Literally every day somebody was saying get off social media. So I've been off, all right? And we feeling good today. I just saw the title. It says New Emperor. Is this a Sabo chapter? A Luffy chapter? A Buggy chapter? Hey.
All right, we're gonna switch. Cause I don't think this is gonna be the video. I think this is just gonna be a recap of the chapter.
One Piece chapter 1058 is out, and it was a doozy. And this is the first time, which is
I'm not trying to get a chapter breakdown. I'm not trying to get a chapter breakdown. Sorry, guys. It was 3 videos, and let's see this one. This is the 3rd one.
okay. You guys knew this was coming, and today we're going to talk about Shanks.
Yes,
and
sir.
One of our favorite topics in the community, believe it or not. As much as people like to downplay it and say they don't want to talk about this, it's inherently a part of the story, and this is on purpose.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Have y'all ever actually wondered what it would be like to actually live life on the sea? The Straw Hats are lucky to have someone like Frankie who built a fully working kitchen, bathroom, and even an aquarium bar. I'm sure the Straw Hats don't pay bills on the ship, so even if you were out at sea, you'd have a lot of finances to think about. What happens if you're short on berries this month? Well, it would be great to have today's sponsor, Dave. Dave is a banking app on a mission to build the best possible products to level the financial playing field. You can get paid up to 2 days early and get actually several polls. Just today at dave.com/BDA. But I did something. Yeah, I did something. I made a poll. Made a couple polls, actually. Several polls. Just to understand and see what are people feeling after One Piece chapter 1058. And of course, per usual, spoiler alert for people who have not read it, you 7 people out there. But I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. Of course, manga readers. For anime onlys, hey man, I don't know what to tell you. Either way, Shanks and Mihawk. A topic that's been dragged to death. But the thing is, I don't like when the fans and the community gets a bad name because they're talking about it. This is literally all set up by Oda and the story. These two are meant to be discussed together against each other. Damn near. It's like the Lakers and the Celtics. Shanks and Mihawk, I don't think their rivalry or discussing Shanks and Mihawk is as toxic as Zoro and Sanji because they both have bigger fan bases. However, people are just as passionate about Shanks and Mihawk as they are about Zoro and Sanji. We gotta go all the way back to the beginning of this, right? And I'm not gonna tell you.
Look, let me lay down my thoughts on Shanks and Mihawk right now. All right, I want to lay my thoughts on Shanks and Mihawk. what I've always been saying for, I don't know, like as long as I've pretty much been a fan of One Piece, and I've been debating with people, right, when it comes to Shanks and Mihawk, I believe that they are near the same strength. Now, everybody know I am a Mihawk fan, so yes, I am biased towards Mihawk. But even being biased towards Mihawk, I've always said that if it is possible, likely, it is likely, because I feel as though Oda tends to try to build Shanks up a lot more than Mihawk. So it is likely that Shanks might be a bit stronger than Mihawk, but I've always argued that they are not that different. As far as strength level, they are not, like, neither I believe is vastly stronger than the other. If they were to fight now, I think it would be a very close fight, and it could probably even go either way to a degree. But because of how the story has always been up to this point at least, it's always kind of been portrayed that Shanks might have the edge. So I've always given Shanks the slight edge. You know, not a guaranteed edge, but the slight edge. But I've always thought that they were very close. They were damn near equals. You know, so I just have to put my 2 cents on what I think of the two are now. I think Shanks is a superior swordsman, and I've always believed that because he is the world's strongest swordsman. He also told Shanks, like, look, you lost your arm, so now I'm not interested in you, because to me, for Mihawk, that is more of a, like, I don't want to beat a one-armed man, because then it's like, you know, I have a handicap in my favor, right? So that's how I always kind of looked at it. But if one of them is most certainly stronger, based off how the story has built them, I always said that Shanks might be the stronger of the two, and by a very, like, he might edge Mihawk out. So I just want to put that out there, you know, of what I think. You know, what I think about this debate of Shanks and Mihawk. I'll never believe, like a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers I see, B.D.A. being one of them, act like Shanks is just far superior to Mihawk. And I've never been on board with that. I wouldn't even say Mihawk is far superior than Shanks, you know. So, and I'm biased towards Mihawk. I'm biased towards Mihawk as a character. So that's just me putting my opinion out there right now. Let's go.
You guys the poll results yet, but we got a definitive answer after chapter 1058 as to who do we think is stronger. 30,000 people voted, and they've come to the conclusion based on that. But it was almost a very interesting psychology experiment. Why do people choose sides? Why do humans choose sides? According to Hogg and Janice Saddleman, people are motivated.
Yeah, Law, you're one of them. You're one of them. Let's not act like you don't be gassing Shanks up the high heaven. Come on now.
To reduce as much uncertainty about their lives and identity as they can. One way to do this is to identify with and become involved in a group. People also take sides so they can start to do and say what the others in the group do for approval and acceptance. So, you come into the community. One of the questions that you're going to be asked in the One Piece community, you know, of course Zoro or Sanji, but then you probably have followed up with Mihawk or Shanks, and that's intentional in the story. Here's what Oda does. We get Shanks. He gets introduced. He's an amazing guy, right? Handsome, dashing young man. And then he influences Luffy to the point that he wants to become a pirate. He's molded our main character. Okay, cool. A couple arcs later, we're introduced to somewhat of a bounty hunter because Mihawk was chasing after Don Creek. And we come to find out this man is the world's greatest swordsman. The nuance on that has been dissected so much, you have to be very clear.
Bro, people, I always hear, oh, well, it's just a title. It's just a title. It's just a title. Bro, nah, bro. It's not just a title. You know what I'm saying? He's the world. Zoro looks at him as the world's strongest swordsman. Freaking the Navy said that his swordsmanship is superior to Shanks, who is a Yonko, one of the strongest guys. Now, again, I'm not saying that means he's overall stronger than Shanks. I'm just saying he, at least in the swordsmanship department, he is superior to Shanks. So, like, but people act like, oh, it's just a title. But just because he has a title, he's still a bum. You can't be a bum with a title like that. Come on now. Let's continue. Sorry, y'all. I get passionate about this. I get passionate when it comes to my man's Mihawk. It just is what it is. I'm always get passionate about it. Y'all can hate on me in the comments down below. I'm fine with it. Let's continue.
World's greatest, world's strongest. There is not much nuance in regards to Mihawk's title. He's simply the best, right? You can spin it in any which way, he's simply the best. So then we do that. Fast forward, Mihawk is taking Luffy's bounty to Shanks. Why? Well, Shanks and Mihawk, they had such a good relationship that Shanks told Mihawk about Luffy. And here's the difficult thing, especially after chapter 1058, it's clear that Mihawk does not trust many people. He clearly trusts Shanks to some degree, because when he pulled up on Shanks to show him Luffy's bounty, he ended up sitting and drinking with him. Now, here's the thing. Early on in the narrative, with Mihawk doing this, before this point, there's interesting dialogue happening within the story, where Zoro and Mihawk talk about becoming the world's greatest swordsman. Zoro makes a vow to never lose again until he becomes the world's greatest swordsman. Kinda cap. Either way, he made that vow. Mihawk said that that's even more difficult than what Zoro's trying to do. If we go by the Viz translations, Mihawk says, you tread a perilous path. It's even more perilous than trying to surpass me. Now, Mihawk is saying that knowing the context of the situation, understanding what it takes to be a Yonko, because again in chapter 1058, he says, I have no interest in that. Because being a Yonko, this confirms that you always have a target on your head, target on your back at least. And for a swordsman, a scar on the back is a swordsman's. Anyway, this is not something that Mihawk is interested in. But either way, to some people, that's Mihawk confirming that Yonko, Shanks, is stronger than regular swordsman, but the best in Mihawk. But here's where things get tricky. They're both swordsmen. Mihawk is the best swordsman, but Shanks is a Yonko. And now we have more knowledge, way more knowledge about the Yonko and what they entail. It's not.
But like, to me, that's kind of a bad argument, because you just like the chapter even proves. Because Shanks, yes, Shanks is a Yonko, but that doesn't mean Mihawk couldn't be a Yonko. He just doesn't want to be a Yonko, right? He doesn't want to be a Yonko. You know, so him not wanting to be a Yonko or him not having that title of a Yonko, that shouldn't be an indictment on his own strength, you know, because like he just seemed like a guy who just likes to be, you know, he likes to just be able to do whatever he wants without people like annoying him, without the Marines annoying him, without people just hunting him for bounties and stuff. You know, now he's I'm sure he's cool with people challenging him, you know, like capable swordsman trying to surpass him, seeing how when Zoro said that he actually got excited for him. So in that way, I get him not being targeted, but like just people targeting him for bounty purposes and the Marines trying to arrest him, I don't think Mihawk wants that, you know? So being a Yonko holding that title is just not important to him, you know? But it's not like he's not very well capable of doing it. At least if we're talking individual strength, you know, he still needs to get a crew and he doesn't trust people. So, you know, how can you have a crew if you don't trust people? You know, he probably needs some territory. He has one island. I don't think he really cares about managing territory. So yeah, you know, I just don't think him not being a Yonko is an indictment on his individual strength. You know, it's just more of an indictment on his motivation. Like he just has no motivation on being something of a Yonko.
Not solely about strength, but strength is very important. So, going off the story and the narrative, Mihawk is the world's best swordsman, world's strongest swordsman, however you want to slice it and dice it, pun intended. And Shanks himself is a swordsman, now he's missing an arm. Something I left out intentionally is when Mihawk pulled up on Shanks, Shanks said, I'm not in a good mood right now, Dracula. Do you want a match? Mihawk said, no, I'm not here to challenge a one-armed man like yourself. Now, this is very important because there are things that we know now that establish this relationship. First off, Mihawk was famous during the era of Roger, while Roger was alive. Shanks, his fame came from dueling with Mihawk. I presume that Mihawk at some point, he was so famous, he was running through grown men. And here comes Shanks, a regular kid, challenging someone who was maybe not the best at the time, but well on his way. And he did such a...
Bro, this flashback is gonna be so lit. I'm gonna say that this flashback, the flashback of how Shanks and Mihawk, like Shanks coming to challenge Mihawk, that's gonna be so lit, bro. Like I hope we get a flashback of Mihawk rising and then Shanks coming to challenge him. Bro, we gotta see that, man. We gotta see it.
Great job that he got famous off of that. Now it continues because now it's confirmed Shanks had a billion-berry bounty by the time he met Luffy. Also confirmed is that the last time Shanks and Mihawk had a duel was damn near 12 years ago, but Shanks became a Yonko 6 years ago. So what does this mean? They haven't fought in a very long time. And if Luffy's growth rate is any, people can grow pretty quickly. Now, this is not to say Shanks has grown and Mihawk hasn't. It's just very difficult to discern who could be stronger at this point. Let's go a bit deeper then. Let's look
can
at the
agree
SBS.
with that.
And sometimes people try to parse Oda's words to figure things out. Well, in SBS Volume 73, the question was, hey Oda, in all of these fight scenes, why doesn't anyone go for the men's groins, their balls, their dick? Doesn't that seem like the quickest path to victory? Why are weirdos always chosen to ask these questions? Either way, Oda responds to this question, obviously, because this is a very important question. He says, true, that is a vital area. But just imagine legends among men, Whitebeard, Shanks, Mihawk, staring each other down, bearing their weighty ideals, and trying to whack each other in the balls. Is that the kind of manga you want to read? So off of this statement, people said Mihawk was included in the same context with Shanks and Whitebeard. That is not a coincidence.
What kind of question is that? Oh my goodness, Oda, that was a great response by Oda though. That was a wonderful response by Oda. Like, who would want to see that? Just like you could say that in any shonen or manga or anime. Why would you want to see two people trying to hit each other in the groin? kind of question is that? Oh man, bro, that's wild.
To a lot of people, you're like, well, I still gotta see something. They go back to Marineford, where Mihawk said, I want to measure the distance between myself and that man. That translation has been dissected so many times, and the context in how it's read does not necessarily mean how it actually came off. It made it seem like Mihawk has never bested a Yonko. He was just like wanting to see how strong this man was because he was so far behind. But now understanding Mihawk and how much he respects strength, this was just a chin check. Let's see how far you are, because it almost seemed like Mihawk was testing Whitebeard because he felt like the distance was not great as the world would want you to believe. He sensed it because Mihawk, again, one of his epithets, he's known as being clairvoyant, and that goes with observation haki. So him sensing that is not far-fetched, and also the breath of all things is something where you cut where you want to cut. So Jozu jumping in the way, you could argue that he did not plan on cutting Diamond, so therefore Diamond was not cut. You cut what you would like to cut. Either way, all these things are building against Mihawk, even though what's still in place? World's strongest.
And that's the thing when Marineford, like, because I was kind of arguing about like Marineford, like stuff that happened to Marineford. Mihawk did not seem serious that whole time. Like as many fights as he had, he didn't look like he broke a sweat at all. Like he fought Vista, but he was very calm. It's not like he was like super excited, you know. So to me, that just shows that Mihawk wasn't fighting Vista to all his strength. When he fought Luffy, it didn't seem like he was like going like 100% at Luffy. Like I feel as though he was going enough to potentially kill Luffy, but it didn't seem like he was using 100% of his strength against Luffy. He was using like enough to be like, you know what, I could kill you if I connect with you, but it's not like I'm like sitting here trying with all my might to kill you. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it's that's the vibe I got from Mihawk during every encounter he had in Marineford. You know, like, cause he didn't sweat, he wasn't like breathing hard or anything. He was just going through motions. You know, that's what I remember seeing from Mihawk. Him just going through motions.
Swordsman, world's greatest swordsman, world's best swordsman. Say it with me now. However you want to slice it and dice it, he's still the best. While Shanks has lost an arm, Mihawk is still the best. So let's jump forward to chapter 1058. fight. Well, before that, we have to go to the Vivre cards. The Vivre card data books are information cards approved by Oda, and so they should be regarded as canon, and any contradictions will be corrected. But when they come out, they are regarded as canon material. So if you only read the manga, again, there's so much that you're missing out. SBSs, Vivre cards. Here's what it says on Mihawk's Vivre card. He's the world's strongest swordsman, who sits at the top, the strongest of all swordsmen. Mihawk became famous before the Great Pirate Era even started. He trained relentlessly for many years, challenging more and more powerful foes until he had no more worthy challengers. Because of that, he became a warlord. After Roger's death, despite having no crew, he spends most of his time sailing for fun. Originally, his epithet was going to be clairvoyant. He looks forward to the day a swords master will emerge to surpass even his rival, red-haired Shanks, which could be interpreted as he's trying to find someone that can be stronger than Shanks, because it could either be Mihawk is slightly stronger, or right now it's a stalemate, where obviously they can't fight anymore because Shanks has one arm. And of course, he's confirmed as both an armament and observation hockey user. Here are a couple more things that are going for Mihawk. Zoro. Zoro is a confirmed Conqueror's Hockey user. Not only Conqueror's Hockey, advanced Conqueror's Hockey user. Confirmed. So with that, I think more than likely Mihawk has it as well. He seems to be one of one. And again, with his epithet originally going to be clairvoyant, I'm led to believe that he has immense observation hockey. But we did find out some things about Shanks recently. Well, Shanks can do hockey talkie.
Bruh, I tell y'all, man, Mihawk, I think, got like some special observation hockey, especially with those eyes. I think those eyes grant I think it could be like a bloodline thing with Mihawk. So maybe it's like something that he was just it's a level of observation hockey you can only get through that bloodline. Kind of like when you look at Uchiha, how they have access to the Sharingan, which grants a lot of optical advantages in the fight. Unless you're Kakashi, who get or Danzo, who grants it in different ways, unnatural ways. But that's kind of how I look at with Mihawk, and maybe Eam possibly. Maybe they're in the same bloodline, possibly.
We can do drive-by hockey strikes using Conquerors. And also with Shanks, spoiler alert for Film Red and Volume 4 Billion, Shanks has the ability, in some way he can disable Future Sight. So I'm assuming if Mihawk has insane Future Sight, by fighting Mihawk for that many years or that many times, Shanks has unlocked the ability to disable your Future Sight. The meme right now is Shanks and Mihawk. It is as strong as ever, where Mihawk is going to fight Shanks and says, please, please, for God's sakes, turn off your hockey. But again, chapter 1058 is here. And here are a few things we know about Mihawk. It is confirmed and blatantly clear now, if it wasn't clear before, Mihawk is the better swordsman of the two between him and Shanks, based on what the Marines know. Secondly, he has a 3,500,000,000 berry bounty and some change. And again, he has a higher bounty than the leader of that organization. So we can't say organization carrying. No, his bounty was frozen because, again, another epithet he had was he was a Marine hunter. So the danger was there, and they are paying him to stop beating their ass. That's what they did. So with that being said,
look, Mihawk, bro, come on, bro. How about we give you a position in like our little subsection of the Marines where we allow pirates to join? Just leave us alone, Hawkeye. Leave us alone, man. Leave us alone, bro. Come on, man. You killing all our vice admirals and admirals and stuff. Leave us alone, bro. Hey, we'll leave you alone. We'll give you this island here. We'll pay you here. Come on, man. Just leave us alone, bro. That was the Marines coming to Mihawk, man. I'm just saying.
Ed, where are we now? That brings us to the poll. We're going to use the poll on YouTube because that's where 30,000 people voted and they came to a conclusion. At this point, and honestly, it's shocking, it is 78% in Shanks' favor to 22% in Mihawk's favor. But then I go to the comments because I'm confused as to how is the disparity so great when all these things point to Mihawk being clearly on the level of Shanks, but he's the better swordsman. He more than likely has all the tools to combat Shanks. Why is
in playing devil's advocate, being the better swordsman doesn't mean he's the overall better fighter between the two, because Shanks, his hockey could be far superior to Mihawk, which could make him have the edge. Like I said earlier in this video, I believe that they're right there, right there. But if we're going off of just how much hype that's been built off of Shanks, like by Oda himself, it's possible that Shanks might edge out Mihawk. Edge out. My opinion. I think if based on all that, if one is stronger, Shanks might edge out Mihawk. It could go either way though. It can go either way. But most likely I do believe that they are right there neck and neck. And I've always argued that point that they are neck and neck. I've always said that Mihawk has to be at the very least Yonko level, you know, because it's no way I believe that Shanks has like he caught up to Mihawk and then just straight up just passed him like that much, you know, because I believe Mihawk would progress as well, so they would just be going up together, you know what I mean? But it's possible Shanks has the edge over Mihawk because of things like hockey, right? But I think it's close. Either way, I think it's close. But Mihawk is the better swordsman. Mihawk is the better swordsman.
Is such a disparity? The comments told me everything I needed to know, and this was on purpose, right? I did not put an equal option on purpose. I'm going to force you to pick a side. You have to choose one. Most people in the comments were saying, I believe that they're probably equal, but I like Shanks more. There's your answer, folks. The reason why the disparity is so great in the community in regards to Shanks versus Mihawk, even though
Shanks
Mihawk has a very stout resume on his own, is because people like Shanks more, and they look somewhat towards the narrative of Yonko and the weight that title holds, even though I think it's a bit misleading.
I'm not shocked. When he first shown that little poll, I was like, Shanks is gonna win that. Come on now, because people just like Shanks more, and a lot of One Piece fans don't go off of logic. A lot of One Piece fans they don't look at they go off of who they like more. There was a tournament list, right? There was a tournament I seen in like a Facebook group. And the tournament was like the best swordsman in anime, right? It was like the best swordsman in anime. You had characters like Zoro. You had characters like, I want to say Asta was in it. Kenpachi, I think, was in it. Afro Samurai. Guts. Mihawk was in it. It was a bunch of swordsmen all across different anime, right? And it got to like the semifinals of one of the brackets, and it brought us to, I think Ichigo was in it as well. It brought us to Mihawk versus Zoro. Guess who won that? If you're saying Mihawk, you would be wrong. If you said Zoro, you would be right. People said Zoro won that. Popularity contest right there. So that just shows that a lot of One Piece fans go more off of who they like more, or not based on any actual facts or what has already been established. The fact that Mihawk is the greatest swordsman. The fact that when they did fight, Mihawk beat him. And I always say, if you guys ever watch wrestling, he had this famous saying, and it says, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And that's what I say. I'm like, look, in order for Zoro to be better than Mihawk, he has to beat Mihawk. Until he beats Mihawk, he's not better than Mihawk. You know, it's just what it is. You know, last time they fought, Mihawk won. Mihawk trained Zoro. And yes, Zoro has got leaps and bounds, stronger. I've seen people argue, well, Zoro injured Kaido. Mihawk couldn't do that. Just because we didn't see it, you saying he couldn't cut Kaido either? What kind of stupid logic is that, man? But popularity contest most of the time. That's all that is.
I even said my money's on Shanks, but my heart is on Mihawk. What the fuck does that mean? I didn't even mention the greatest caveat in this whole debate. The freaking subscribe button. Oh my God, you knew it was coming. You weren't sure, you kept trying to guess. There it is. People watch the videos, they think they're subscribed, they're not. Look down, make sure you are. If you are, appreciate you, drop a like.
Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Twitch. Link will be in the description box.
And now, seriously, the greatest caveat in all of this is that people don't view Shanks as a true swordsman. So you may be asking me, Brago, what is the difference between a true swordsman and a regular swordsman? Well, this is built into the story, where typically the true swordsmen are people who care about their swordsman title, who care about the wear of the blade, and people that are just swordsmen, they don't care about that. And that's part of the narrative, and even King feeds into that, saying, I just use a sword, I'm not a swordsman. So that's not something that's a foreign concept, but I think all of this is on purpose, people. Oda loves this discussion. That's why we had a chapter where Shanks made an admiral freeze in his tracks, drive by Hockey Talkie, so much hype, an entire film, and literally in a couple chapters, he has someone say Mihawk is better than Red Hair in regards to swordsmanship, even though he's a swordsman. This back and forth drives conversation and honestly drives sales. Nothing drives sales more than rivalry. That's why they have left Twix and right Twix and footy idiots that participated in that whole fiasco. Dishonor on your whole family. Say it with me, Cricket. Coke versus Pepsi, they're all cultivated for people to pick sides because people want to feel like they're part of a group, and then they start adopting certain things that their group says. And again, you want to strip away as many uncertainties about your identity as possible. And it's the same for the One Piece community because we are all human. Human nature is gonna human nature. So what is the conclusion? As of right now, most of the community thinks that Shanks is the strongest, and I'm kind of with them. I'm literally on the fence. I don't know what to do, and I think this is the perfect quandary. And Oda's a genius for getting.
I think being on the fence is the best place, and it's not to say you can't like one more than the other. That's fine. I'm okay with liking. I'm okay with somebody liking Shanks more than Mihawk. Just like I like Mihawk more than Shanks. I like Shanks as well, but I like Mihawk more. But I'm also gonna try to be unbiased enough to sit here and say Shanks could potentially be the stronger of the two. Most likely is the stronger of the two if you're talking overall fighting prowess. But it's not by much on either side, I think. You know. That's just me trying to be objective or unbiased at the very least. It's me trying to be unbiased. If you ask me who I like more, Mihawk. If you ask me who's more likely stronger than of the two, probably Shanks. Probably. Mihawk's still a better swordsman though. You know?
Me in this position where all the evidence and facts point towards Mihawk being stronger, but my heart and narratively how I view the Yonko and hype Shanks has, the story makes me feel like I have to pick Shanks. But the quandary is what Oda wants, and I think it's been masterful. But guys, give me your thoughts. Who are you picking? Mihawk or Shanks? No equals shit, Mihawk or Shanks. Now's the time. You can only choose one.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that video. I know we kind of went through like 3 videos just to get the one, because the other 2 I was looking at were, I'm going to give him a like. Link will be in the description box to this video. But yeah, so again, you know, I don't know. I don't know who's the strongest for sure. I think when it comes to strictly swordsmanship, Mihawk is the superior one. But when we talk overall fighting, I don't think we have enough information to come up with a clear winner. I think based on how Oda hype Shanks and builds Shanks and all that, I think Shanks might be the victor of that by an edge. He might edge Mihawk out. But overall, I think they're very close. You know, I think they are very close. It could be like in the best of 10, it could go 6-10 in either favor. You know what I'm saying? Probably, like I said, Shanks might edge him out, so it might go in Shanks' favor. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over this because I know with this chapter it was going to feed into that debate. So I was like, oh, I wonder what, because I know Ace, I know B.D.A. Law, I know he is a avid Shanks fan. So I wanted to see how he was going to spin this, and he hey, to his credit, he was very fair, and he was very fair. So I gotta commend him on that, you know. So I'm glad. We looked at like 2 other videos, but those are more like about the chapters. I wanted to get one that was focused on Mihawk and Shanks specifically. So we did call an audible midstream from the original video I was going to look at. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, that's the video right there. That's all I got. I was just curious to hear some thoughts on an avid Shanks fan about this whole thing that we got from the latest chapter. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also follow me on Twitch so you can see these streams live. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And also go like B.D.A. Law's video. The link will be in the description box. Join the Discord if you want to be part of my community. We talk about One Piece a lot, and we talk about other manga, anime, other things in general. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P. the Blunt God, and I'm out of here. Peace.